They paid homage to specific penances and reverences, to specific symbols. They would drink party be joyful. And the men would have intercourse with one another, yet says you have cashed. To spend they left a horrible room flood dumb Simmons fans, due to Puff gave his birthday celebration on her birthday. However, it was greater than that, and individuals don't comprehend that. And I feel that he had nearly towed off on himself, all through all of the highs and lows of their relationship. Seen Diddy brushes and Kim Dorman generally stayed close watchman who dated looks over for a long time was found dead in her home on November 15, 2018. She was only 47, however, during their on and off relationship. A few peculiar things occurred, basically going by what Kimora and previous security to Diddy John Bargain uncovered, assuming that you were around during the days that Diddy went by the name of Puff Daddy. You presumably recollect that he got the world jiggy with it, for sure during the last part of the 90s. Terrible Kid Records ruled the music business with a steady progression of hits that took dance floors and radio broadcasts by storm, and with extreme recordings highlighting loads of blasts and sparkly suits. Diddy's prodige additionally overwhelmed television wireless transmissions. Yet behind the achievement was a hallucination of cultic ceremonies, gay gatherings, and other odd things. They're not doing what's necessary. They could be doing more. How about you have some work style symbol? Kimora was one of the dearest companions to Kim Watchman. As a matter of fact, when she kicked the bucket, he was crushed each room. I stroll into now. I figure okay, I will simply proceed to get Kim Simmons, said following her unexpected destruction. Yet I see that I can't. This is quite close and too miserable. Your light was a radiating signal for so many. You are an entire state of mind. You are a young lady's young lady, which is the reason we've remained nearby close. By her note to Dorman Simmons, posted an assortment of photos that incorporated a sincere shot of the buddies relaxing together in dresses, a preview of the pair smizing for the camera photos of their families, and a photograph of Dorman before a wall painting that gives her heavenly messenger wings. She kept grieving her left companion, saying we are so similar in such countless ways. We shared garments, food, perspectives, companions, foes, the best joys, and the most obviously terrible sadnesses. We've been hitched, conceived, and offspring raised families, gotten separated from experience passing, and all in the middle of between together. She reviewed you are an extraordinary mother. Between us, we have 8 children who are cousins. We are, and will constantly be a family. I will take care of yours, and you will take care of and guide us all. What a wonderful, cherishing, cheeky soul to have lost. We love you perpetually. May God favor your excursion. Simmons finished up. We will cry constantly for you. She added the hashtags Kim Watchman, perpetually my woman, #tear, and #dark greatness. Yet that is every one of the decency that comes from Kimora. Currently enters the clouded side, the financial speculator, guaranteed that during their time together, Diddy caused Dorman to play out a few gay customs during their birthday events for a reality quality arrangement. The one who was responsible for Diddy's security additionally asserted that he saw the strange happenings at least a time or two. I like when you like this. Daddy here, not very far in the past, rapper Spectacular additionally gave some data in regards to similar bizarre gatherings with Diddy. At the focal point of all, the fact of the matter is the vast majority need to hit up a superstar after party to hobnob and blend with whichever stars are in the house. Breathtaking has been to a few occasions in his day. Yet it seems he feels a portion of those gatherings weren't exactly amazing. The Brooklyn rapper, as of late, took to his Instagram story to share a few genuine stories about him running off on his VIP companions at their occasions. Some of the time what is going on requires an Irish leave, which needed to occur as per fat. The situation began after the ghetto remarkable rapper inquired as to whether they also had been constrained into going to a get-together when you truly need to return home or back to the room, yet you would rather not be the go down to the transform up you at any point, but peer compelled into going to the afts. Fab thought of you truly need to return home or back to the room, yet you would rather not be the go down to the turnip. He likewise posed his Instagram, devotees another inquiry you, at any point said you was going to the restroom. And leftist fans examined his inquiries fabulous, admitted to an entertaining experience, with Diddy who had fantastic celebrating into the following morning. I told Diddy I was going to the restroom, and slid once he let it out was 7 a.m. And this was as yet turned Diddy is known for his crazy celebrating way of life. So marvelous needing to leave and return home checks out Fab. Likewise talked about a comparative circumstance where Mariah Carey had him up the entire evening drinking wine subsequent to recording a section. I told Mariah, I plan to move my vehicle since it will get towed and screw. He made sense of it was 6 a.m. And my stanza been done, we was drinking wine and recounting stories. Someone else who has freely discussed doggy parties is Oscar Victor Jamie Foxx Insane. I used to follow Diddy some time ago. When did he had every one of the melodies out, he was so popular, we were unable to get into our own clubs. Atla Puffy Brushes has been in 30 years, and during this time there has been gossip that he hosts facilitated all men gatherings Twitter clients. Even estimate that there is plausible Puffy might have prepped Usher a TikTok video was delivered that highlighted meetings of rappers and vocalists talking about Puff Daddy's Insane, and detailed all men parties in various meetings and inquiries concerning the rapper's heterosexuality. The video opens with Jamie Foxx being consulted and talking about seen Puffy Brushes, secret gatherings that evidently included young fellows, and afterward days after Jame becomes sick. And Twitter goes wild. One client, composed Jamie Foxx, is as yet hospitalized in the wake of experiencing what is being accounted for as a cerebrum assault or stroke at 55 years old. One more ranged in posting was there an endeavor on Jamie Foxx's life for taking a stand in opposition to Diddy. The subtitle bound a clasp of Jame, clarifying for others the strange gatherings Diddy used to arrange. Rappers like 50 Penny ridiculed Puffy in regards to the kinds of gatherings he'd make where there were all men, and probably much more youthful men, as it occurred with Usher when he went to season camp. The video likewise has a meeting when Howard Harsh and co. have Robin Quivers talked with the R&B vocalist Usher about his starting points in New York City, when he proceeded to reside with Puff Daddy when he was a teen, and tended to the gatherings and festivities that they had at the supposed Flavor Camp. Attendant discussed Flavor Camp on the Howard Harsh Show without being too unambiguous. Attendant talked about how he got to realize the way of life, yet couldn't say whether he would partake and enjoy since it was wild. Later in the video, it was proposed that Diddy and Usher used to share a bed when Usher was only 10 years of age, and they would wrestle for iced pieces. Puffy Brushes made a name as a young man experiencing childhood in New York in his mid-20s. He was at that point no joking matter in Hollywood, marking huge names in the game, and furthermore marking fat checks, yet his cultic ways of behaving would before long overwhelm the titles, particularly given that practically all terrible kid craftsmen wound up in the drain. Truly behind the vivid veneer, a few obscure dealings were going on, and bits of hearsay about Diddy's treatment of specialists were flowing as the years went by. A crazy number of awful kid craftsmen wound up broke dead early on or in prison for quite a while, besides an unreasonable number of craftsmen who worked with Diddy quit the business and devoted their lives to religion. What happened? What did they observe? As per what Kimora Lee says, Satan himself. I would recommend one of his specialists who had a term for the most obviously awful was Craig Mack. The person was someone you know, said not going to say their names. I'm about to say someone that needed to do one more collection with me. So I said cool. I gave him my value. The value was to me was low. Craig Mack was the principal craftsman endorsed with Awful Kid. Heaps his 1994 single Flava in your ear proceeded to turn into the primary hit record of the mark, which aided establish its groundworks for quite a long time into the future, while Mac's vacation seemed by all accounts. To be honest, it went down rapidly. Some could try and say that his profession was reviled from the outset. The fundamental explanation, Diddy found the famous Large, who might become one of the best rappers ever, and pushed Craig Mack to the side. To exacerbate the situation, Craig Mack's actual appearance turned into an issue. He was continually the aim of monstrous jokes in hip-jump media, and that followed him all through his whole life. Moreover, Mack was hesitant to embrace Diddy's vision for radio well-disposed rap subsequently. His most memorable collection, Funk Doll World, contained a few tracks that were positively uncommercial. For example, When God Comes, a sobering track that chastens the wicked methods of his age in the wake of putting in a couple of years. Staying in the storm cellar of Awful Kid Records, Craig Mack at last split from the mark in '97. And after a couple of bombed endeavors at returning into the business, he vanished from the rap world for good. In 2012, Craig Mack reappeared in a video posted by the Overcomer Service, a separated Christian people group in South Carolina that was portrayed as a faction by ex-individuals. Before long, Craig Mack's well-being debased drastically, and he was in some cases seen strolling around with a stick. Then in 2018, Mack died at 47 years old because of cardiovascular breakdown in South Carolina. Close to the Overcomer Service, another famous case is that of Mase from 1996 to 1999. Mase ruled the diagrams, and his most memorable collection, Harlem World, went fourfold platinum. Following this tremendous achievement, the rapper stunned the hip bounce world by declaring his retirement to turn into a minister, all on account of the malicious he saw because of Diddy. On April 20th, 1999, during a meeting with Funkmaster Flex on New York radio broadcast Hot 97, Mase reported his